Hello and welcome to the vlog update for October 2023. Can't believe it's already October, right? Where has the year gone? The biggest news this month, of course, is that the reception from Midday Blue's release last month continues just wonderfully. I'm so grateful for everyone who has shared kind words about it, given it a listen, shared it around with friends. It's been really, really cool to see it getting out there, and it's actually generated, as I think I mentioned in my last vlog update, more interest from people sort of interested in covering it or talking about it than any of my releases so far. So massive thank you everyone who has enjoyed it and shared it and just continues to share the love. That's really, really deeply appreciated. Thank you so much. And I think the most exciting bit of, coverage that I got in the past month since the last vlog was I actually got invited to do a full-length podcast interview with the Formula Indie program on the European Indie Music Network with Alessandro Ciccioni, who basically let me enthuse at him for nearly an hour about my various inspirations and the amazing people who have supported me and collaborated with me and various other shiny things that have led to this point and that I'm planning for the future. It's just, yeah, an hour of me very enthusiastically talking about the things that he asked me about, essentially. So I will pop a link to that podcast down below. It's super fun. And I was, as you can probably guess, I was pretty high energy and really enjoying the opportunity to share the journey and things that I think are amazing. So yeah, that'll go down in the description. And also beyond that, I've got about a few dozen at this stage blog features and reviews and text-based interviews that I have basically kept track of in a list on my website homepage. So if you're curious to have a look at any of those reviews or interviews and what have you, they're all there at www.genevievesovereign.com. And there's all kinds. There's, like I said, there's text-based interviews, there's also blog features, there's roundup reviews, and they're across a number of different languages as well. If English isn't a native language, or you want to brush up on your Italian or French or Portuguese or Spanish or Indonesian, then there are reviews on my website in those languages as well. And of course, if you're curious to read them in English, you just have your browser will probably have an option for you along the URL bar there to swap into an automatic AI translation. And actually, that would be a really good language practice activity. Now that I come to think of it, if you're trying to learn your French, if you're trying to brush up on your Portuguese, maybe give that a go. Read it in English and then read it in one of those languages, and then see how much you get. Hashtag nerd tip, right? So beyond that, I also have in particular done some more work with Happy Mag. They have an interview, a text-based interview of me and their editor Tammy Moore, and that is recently up on their website this week. And I've also written another piece myself for them that will be going up probably in the next week or so, called Communicate and Get It Done, Genevieve Sovereign on Achieving Goals While Keeping True to Ourselves. Bit of a mouthful as a title, but I think that's what we will end up going with, probably. I guess we'll see. I will post a link to that on my website as well once it's up, but it's kind of a follow-on piece from the other article that I wrote for them back in June this year, which was called Create from Curiosity. And that article, that previous one, was talking about how I regard creative process and my approach to creating things, manifesting ideas into the world. And this new piece that I've written, Communicate and Get It Done, is kind of a continuation of that, based on how I manifest the ideas and follow through and ensure that everything I've committed to and everything that I work on and work into the world I do with integrity to my values, my drivers, my passions, and that not only, I suppose, it helps ensure the integrity of my own activity in the world and the integrity of the work that I do here, but also it ensures that um, my energy levels are adequate for all of these. My resourcing is adequate. I don't overextend, and that's a really important, I suppose, way of operating that I think a lot of people could benefit from focusing more on and being more aware of and developing their own strategies for how to do that in their own lives. So how to decide what you want to do, decide how you might be best positioned to do it, and then come up with a strategy for following that through. And that's what the second piece that I've written for Happy Mag is about. A lot of words there, a lot of mouthful, but hopefully the article itself will read a bit more smoothly than I have just spoken about it. Fingers crossed, right? That is, yeah, I suppose the summary of where I'm at in terms of promotion and writing and the fun projects or works in process that are in that kind of arena. As I mentioned in my last vlog update, I also uploaded the lyric video for Midday Blue finally on the equinox last month, and that has been really well received as well. I think I won't bother putting a link in the description below because you can just see it. It's probably the video right beside this one on my vlog channel here, so you can find it easily enough, I'm sure. That has been really fun to do, and I've also got another sort of music visualizer queued up already for next month, because next month will actually be the 1 year anniversary of Vibration Angle. It came out on November the 11th last year, 2022. And so I figured this year, I had the lyric video up for it last year already, of course, as I always do for all of my releases. But to celebrate its anniversary this year, I've also created a fresh new visualizer. So I'll put that up on my YouTube channel here on the 11th of November at 11:11 in the morning here in Australia. Well, here in Melbourne, Australia, rather. And yeah, I think that'll be a fun little commemoration of a really special song for me, because it was another big departure in terms of sound and style. And it's also my second most popular track on Spotify at the moment. It's clocked in at about 1,200 plays on Spotify. Goodness me, what is with my lack of coherency this morning? Sorry about that. But yes, it's my second most popular track on Spotify with 1,200 plays at the moment. And my most popular track on Spotify, incidentally, is still, of course, Present Dreams, which continues to blow my mind. It's now at nearly 11,000 plays on Spotify. That's like nearly 11,000 plays on Spotify. I'm continually mind blown at that. It's still getting algorithmic plays somehow. It's just been, I guess, scraped by the right bots or marked by the correct in-house Spotify magic elves. I don't know, but yeah, it's still getting plays somehow. It's really awesome to see. So yeah, I'm fascinated by all of this. But that aside, what else have I got here? I've got notes as I've taken to start doing, just because there's so much going on in my head all the time, especially the last few months. I've had a few different fingers in different pies, as I've mentioned previously, that are beyond my kind of music focus and span into other areas of my career and portfolio. So it's been a bit of a mental gymnastics routine trying to keep my brain across all of it, but one does what one can, right? And so I think that actually covers most of what I wanted to talk about in terms of music this month. I am continuing to try to upskill in vocal skills as always. It's a slow but steady slog, I like to think, and I continually get better. And that is the goal, right? Continuing to get better at whatever it is we try. And I'm grateful for every opportunity to do that, whether it's singing or learning instruments or writing music or trying to release and promote music or any number of other things in various other areas that are shiny and catch my attention at any given moment. With that said, I will leave my rambling here for this month and hopefully see you next time.